our inner archetypes now is a whole other story, because they can be elusive, right, honey? I mean, they don't want to be seen. I can tell you that.
Even if you can't see them, or if you can't name them, that doesn't mean that they don't exist. So when we make an attempt to name them, I think that it's important to kind of, my big theme in life is to slow down and take a look at them also, and to see your patterns. That's where sometimes it helps to write these things out, etc., and then notice the pattern and just see what's happening.
That's right. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now, which is how to identify some of your archetype material, and then how it gets you into trouble. But we've identified some of the ways it gets you into trouble. Okay, first of all, it's not who you are. So eventually, who you're going to be is going to rear its head, which most of us feel is unlovable and imperfect. Like underneath the archetype, which is a defense mechanism or a coping skill, underneath that is who we really are. And I know for a lot of you out there, this is not a new concept. For those of you who it is, the idea is to become internally referenced and find that authentic part of who we are, and notice the disparity between who we're being and who we really are, and try to close that gap some. So an exercise that I created, David and I created for Hindsight, What You Need to Know Before You Drop Your Drawers, is to take a look at your relationship history. You can go online to MaryanneLive.com, and I think that we've got some information about how you can get the long version of this. For sure, you can get a copy of the book if you don't catch it all on the air today. By the way,
what if you don't like to read, sweetie? You got anything else?
No, this is a writing exercise. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say it now, but if you want to just go to that part of the book, it's pretty straightforward. So what you do, get a piece of paper, and you want a piece of paper that's wider than it is long, right? And you want to list your most significant relationships across the top of the page, like 3. It doesn't even matter if you've had 2. Think back to when you were in kindergarten. Seriously, this stuff started a long time ago. Go ahead and put them all at the top, cross, you know, like Janine, Laura, Hilda, and, you know, Ken. For those of you who are experimenting. Whatever. I don't care what it looks like. Then you want to go ahead and name, what about that person was I initially attracted to? Let yourself use as many adjectives as you want. Just try not to exceed more than 4 or 5. Like, what was the real draw to these people? Like, he was sexy. You know, he was solid. He was well established. He was fun. He was playful. He was romantic. You know, whatever it is. Okay, take some time with this exercise. You may have to do a lot of thinking. It's, by the way, for those of you who have the book Hindsight, What You Need to Know Before You Drop Your Drawers, it's on page 69. Thank you, Anila, our Vanna White, who just gracefully gave us that. Then what you want to do is draw a line of demarcation to end that part of the process. And then underneath, you want to go to each of those relationships and name the reason that the relationship ended. For example, like he drank too much. She
cheated on me, or I mean, there are lots of reasons that
she was negative. You know, whatever they are. I was bored, right? That, you know, whatever the real reason is. And here's the coolest thing, honey. What we've noticed is that the pattern seems obvious. It's almost
the other thing that I was thinking about, and it's true, the pattern is obvious. And one of the things that is curious about this is put your age by those relationships, by the way. So you'll notice that you were 10, 16, 22, and all of a sudden, let's say whatever age you are now, are they looking curiously the same as when you were 10?
Exactly.
You might want to take a look at what's going on.
Yeah, which we suspect this is part of it. The archetype that's leading the way, we call it what's fake about you. In our workshop, my husband and I teach, we do this exercise where we have people stand up and for 3 minutes talk about what's fake about me. What's your rap? What's your routine? And once we get aware of that, right, because the truth is,
it isn't easy for 3 minutes.
It is not easy. It is actually can be very emotional and really disturbing for people. It's like, oh my God, you want me to blow my own rap? Yes, we do, because it's going to get blown anyway. So why not embrace it and make love to that part of yourself? Because if you don't love it, nobody else will, A. B, you're least likely to transcend it if you aren't aware of it. And C, it's already ruling your life unconsciously anyway, right? So, yeah, so this is a great exercise.
So, where are we now in the exercise? You have the 3 names across the top. You have some basic attributes going down. You have some ages there.
Circle the ones that are in common.
And circle the ones that are in common. There
Right,
you go.
and
There.
we've gotten a bunch of questions from listeners, by the way, that we're going to address and try to help them find their inner archetype as it relates to this particular part of the process. And by the way, if you want more information about this, go ahead and email us, info@maryannelive.com, and we'll see if we can point you in the right direction. You can get a copy of Hindsight on Amazon.com. I think it's the cheapest way to get it right now. When we come back after the break, we're going to be right here, The Power of We, Maryanne Comaroto.
And David Reynolds.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Oh, by the way, we've got a great special